Hello everyone, my name is Felix, and today I'm going to be going over an introduction to Buddhism, and we're going to be discussing enlightenment. What is the enlightenment? There are four main points about the enlightenment. The first is that there are 52 levels of enlightenment, the 52nd level being the highest. The second point is the content of enlightenment. What exactly is enlightenment? It's a truth for all people to become truly happy. The third point is Shakyamuni Buddha attained the highest level of enlightenment at the age of 35. And the fourth point, what are the sutras? What does that mean? So the first point, there are 52 levels of enlightenment, the 52nd level being the highest. So each of these stages of enlightenment we can think of like a spiritual practice or spiritual training. Each level indicates a higher level of experience. For example, Tendai, who was born in 538 AD in China, through the course of his life he attained the 9th level of enlightenment, which is called Gobon Deshi. This figure here, his name is Nangaku, and he attained the 10th level of enlightenment, and he lived from 677 to 744 in China, and his level is called Rokon Shoujoi. So Tendai here had the 9th level, and Nangaku had the 10th level. After serious practice, vegetarianism, daily recitation and study of the sutras. So the next point, the content of enlightenment. It's a truth for all people to become happy. Everyone. So what does this enlightened mean? Let's break that down. It's a truth of the universe. An entire universe. But what kind of truth is that? Is that like a scientific truth? Is that a mathematical truth like 2 plus 2 is 4 or E equals mc squared? No, the enlightenment and the truth of the universe we're referring to here is a truth that makes all people get happiness, lasting happiness. So what are we living for? We live to be happy. And we go after so many different types of happiness in our lives. We try to get high-paying jobs. We want to please and support our families. We want to have fun in our hobbies, music. We want to travel the world, see the sights. We want to bring peace to the world, maybe win a Nobel Prize or help many people. We all live for happiness. And in Buddhism, the one who knows the truth is that person who knows how to enable all people to be happy and to get lasting happiness, not just momentary happiness that comes and goes and where we can suffer at any point. So the content of enlightenment, the truth for all people to become happy, these stages of enlightenment, we can think of it like climbing a mountain. The higher you climb, the better your view is. So from here, you climb higher and the view gets better. And you can see, oh wow, look, I see the next city over. Oh, there's a river over there that I didn't see before. Oh wow, what a beautiful view. But only at the top is where we can see a complete 360-degree view. And this level is Buddhahood. And the only person to have ever attained that in this world is Shakyamuni Buddha, who was born 2,600 years ago. So no Buddhas have appeared on the earth before or after Shakyamuni Buddha. And whenever we talk about Buddhism, we must know that Buddhism equals the teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha. So Shakyamuni Buddha, he attained enlightenment at the age of 35. So by learning his story, we get to know and understand deeply what is Buddhism. His name was Siddhartha Gautama, and like I mentioned before, he was born 2,600 years ago on April 8th. He was born in the country of Nepal, and his parents were King Suddhodana and Queen Mahamaya. And he was born in the castle of Kapilvastu, in a beautiful village called called Lumbini. Now, when Shakyamuni Buddha was born, it's said that he said this famous passage, "In the sky above, in the sky below, only we alone are precious." Now, it's said that he said this right after birth, which is kind of an interesting tale. But what does this mean? What do the words here mean? This is saying only human beings can achieve the purpose of life. So, as a human being now, he can attain this everlasting happiness. In his childhood, Prince Siddhartha had two of the highest scholars in the country who were teaching him. The reason was King Suddhodana wanted him to be an excellent king and an excellent leader. One of his teachers was Badarani in the literary arts. And one day Badarani came to see the king, kind of a parent-teacher conference, and usually the parents start to worry, uh-oh, is my son in trouble? Did he do something wrong? And Badarani said, "No, Your Majesty, there's nothing wrong. The problem is that the young prince is so clever that he can understand 100 concepts by hearing just one thing that I teach him. I'm not qualified to teach your son." A short time after, Sendai Daiva, who was Prince Siddhartha's teacher in the military arts, came to the king, and the king was, "You're not going to quit too, are you?" And he said, "Yes, I have to turn in my resignation. Because even me, they call me an expert shot, but I'll miss 1 out of 100. Your son, he does not miss. It's beyond imagination." So what do these tales signify? They signify that Prince Siddhartha was not only born in abundant wealth, he was also extremely talented and had all these gifts. So, seeing that Prince Siddhartha kept having these spiritual questions rise up in him, the king became worried and decided to marry him. And he got married at the age at 19 years old to a lovely young lady by the name of Yasodhara, who was the daughter of a very wealthy king. And they were happy for a while, and then they had a child by the name of Rahula. And Rahula in Sanskrit means fetter, which is like an anchor, something, a weight, something very heavy. So even the naming of his son signified that he was searching for these spiritual questions. So Prince Siddhartha decided to ask his father for 3 things. And his father immediately became happy. "Oh, finally, I can make my son happy." He said, "I want to remain young forever, I want to be healthy forever, and I don't want to die." And the king, as powerful as he was unable to provide any of these. So Prince Siddhartha was blessed with wealth, talent, status, youth. Everything that we could possibly want was right in his hands. And yet he knew that it was impermanent, that this type of happiness could only last if he didn't get old, if he didn't get sick, and if death didn't approach. So he wanted to solve the fundamental question of life as a human being. So at this point he decided to depart the castle and practice asceticism in order to find the enlightenment and a happiness that does not ever betray you. So he left at the age of 29 on February 8th, and he reached Buddha's enlightenment at the age of 35 on December 8th. And from this point, he dedicated his life to teach what we now know as Buddhism for 45 years until he died at the age of 80 years old. So, what are the sutras? Well, the sutras are the recorded lessons of Shakyamuni Buddha 45 years of teachings that are compiled in 7,000 volumes of sutras. So a sutra is something that Shakyamuni Buddha has taught. Some examples are the larger Sutra of Infinite Life and the Sutra of Contemplation on the Buddha of Infinite Life. And all these sutras are trying to get to the root cause, showing us the root cause of our suffering as a human being. So if we cut branches away, we will still suffer. We want to get to the root here and sever it so that we can have everlasting happiness. So we know happiness as money or fame or nobility or being honored, but all of these things are relative. They come and go. They're temporary. The teachings are showing us the existence of absolute happiness, a happiness that never changes, a happiness that gives us true peace of mind, even in the wake of old age, sickness, and death. So I'd like to go into this further in another lecture. Please join us next time. Thank you very much.